Yo, give me one sec. Okay, let me. All right. Oh God, no headphones. Screw it. Okay, guys. What is up? £1,000 here to bring you guys the season 5 episode. No, season 4, episode 5, Game of Thrones review. The episode's titled "First of His Name." If this is your first time watching, I just want to let you guys know that I am a book reader, so mainly what I'm going to be doing is telling you the differences between the show and the book, how they changed things around, what I liked about what they changed, what I didn't like about what they changed, general stuff like that, with no spoilers. But let me just say, overall, this episode was top tier this season. I really love this episode. Wow. So much happened, and I think this episode will put a lot of the people, will quiet down a lot of the people that have been saying they don't like the season. The book readers, of course, that have been saying they don't like the season because of some of the changes that were made last episode. Hear me out, though, as I go through. I'm going to go ahead and explain everything. I'm gonna explain why the changes were positive rather than negative. All right, first scene, of course, Tommen crowned king. We all expected this to happen. No surprise there. But the thing is, this scene is I would say this scene is the only scene in the whole episode that really made me just not like this. Just not the only scene I didn't like. And that was the scene where Cersei tells Margaery that she understands that Joffrey was cruel, was a bad person, blah, blah, blah. While I think that Cersei did recognize this, I really don't think that Cersei is supposed to be the kind of character, or she was in the books. I think this was a strictly TV show revelation where she actually notices that Joffrey was a bad king, a bad ruler, and a bad person. She's not supposed to know that. And even if she did, she wouldn't go about saying this to Margaery of all people. She hates Margaery's guts. And while I think the approach to Margaery may be sort of a fake out, and Cersei's just trying to maybe get on Margaery's good side to screw her over later, or something of that sort, I really, this change is kind of offsetting me. And again, let me say that I don't know if it was actually a change. I don't remember this ever happening in the books, but if I would have to, as far as my memory serves, Cersei would definitely never do this. This is complete out of character for Cersei, unless she's planning something major, like catching Margaery saying something bad about Joffrey or something like that. But Cersei was completely just like pretty much shit-talking Joffrey in front of Margaery, which is really just out of character, because she's supposed to just never, never act out against Joffrey. So that was weird to me. The next thing is the Daenerys scene. Okay, so real quick about the Daenerys scene. A lot of people have been saying if Daenerys comes to Westeros, she wouldn't be able to take over. A lot of people have said this countless times again, and I always have the same answer to you. If Daenerys comes, and a lot of people that watch the TV show don't quite realize this from the jump, which is if Daenerys comes over to Westeros in an attempt to take back Westeros, what's going to happen is pretty simple. Daenerys is going to show up on the shore. And if you don't remember Robert's Rebellion, where the Targaryens were usurped out of power, it was a war. It was a war. There were two sides fighting, okay? And what's going to happen when Daenerys comes is, one of two things could happen, I guess. They're not like exclusive. They can both happen, but the one thing people do is when Daenerys arrives, if people think that Daenerys is going to win the war, they're going to quickly rush to her side. Because when you're on the winning side of a war, no matter what you did, you are going to benefit just from being on the winning side. You're going to get the money, the land, everything that comes from being the victor of the war. If you're on the losing side, then obviously you're going to lose all your shit, or most of your shit. So if people think Daenerys is going to win in the long run, they'll flock over to her side. Other than that, Jorah didn't pick up on one thing. The people who were loyal to the Targaryens are going to flock to Daenerys' side. And the thing about this is you got to remember that there was a whole a large group of people that were loyal to the Targaryens. So these people are naturally going to want to help Daenerys. So they're obviously all going to flock and join her side, and this is going to amass. She's probably, all right, let's put it this way. If she goes to Westeros, she's probably going to have, like, at the end of the war, 4 or 5 times the amount of troops, just because of the Targaryen older bannermen that flock back to her side, everyone that thinks she's going to win the war coming over to her side, everyone that hates the Lannisters. Okay, let's put it this way. If Daenerys joins up with everyone that hates the Lannisters, then it's over. They win. Okay? The only people right now that I think are actually allied to the Lannisters are House Bolton. Well, of course, there are a lot of minor houses, but House Bolton, House Frey, and the Tyrells. Sort of. See, not even the Tyrells. The Tyrells are under a completely different, and who knows what Littlefinger would do. And now we know he has influence. He's going to be the Lord of the Vale. So that's a lot of people that already are potentially going to stand against Lannisters. So we got to realize that. And then, of course, there's the fact that they're talking about what Daenerys is going to do. A lot of people want Daenerys, to Jorah, want Daenerys to just go leave all these cities and go back to Westeros. Just sail there and take over. And if I remember, Daario secured like a lot of ships. So if anything, he will be they'll be sailing back in those ships. I think they said they can fit 9,300. I forgot exactly how many people the ships can fit, but that's a good force, a good enough force to take over King's Landing. So that's one option. The other option is to stay and rule, and obviously Daenerys thinks she can rule, and this is Daenerys's, and of course we have the fact that Astapor, which was one of the other cities she liberated, was taken over by some random ass motherfucker. He was a butcher. I believe we're gonna get an update on the situation, but Astapor was taken over, a city that Daenerys already liberated and set up a kind of council to rule over the city. They were taken over and killed by this one dude that you'll hear about him later. As for his name, I cannot recall his name at the moment, but I know he was a butcher in the city, and he got power hungry, and he just took over the city. And of course, again, we'll be getting another update on that. But yeah, Daenerys' quote, I wrote it down right here. She said, "How can I rule 7 kingdoms if I can't control Slavers Bay?" And here I agree and disagree with Daenerys. I both agree and disagree. I think, I'm not even fucking kidding, I think ruling over Westeros, ruling over the 7 kingdoms, and ruling, depending on the type of ruler you are, and taking over Slavers Bay, they're not, ruling over the 7 kingdoms is not that much more difficult. You're like, oh my god, you're crazy. How could you be saying that? Think about it. Look at what Joffrey did. And look at what Tommen's about to do. Not very hard jobs. They are kings by title. And Daenerys could pull the same kind of shit. She has very, very capable advisors, and that can work alongside her and make this not an easy process. And of course, they're going to be the bannermen when they get back, but it's not going to be a backbreakingly hard process. You divide up the work. You have your small council. I'm not saying it's an easy job. I'm just saying that quote by Daenerys, "How can I rule 7 kingdoms if I can't control Slavers Bay?" is not really I don't think she used it correctly. But this is just a flaw of Daenerys' character in general. I really don't think she's a great ruler, but we'll get to that. Alright, so... Sorry about that. But yeah, now we get to the scene where Littlefinger and Sansa, Petyr Baelish, I'm going to call him Baelish. I usually call him Littlefinger because I don't know if people, certain show watchers, I'm not saying all show watchers, but I'm not sure certain people don't understand when I say Petyr Baelish or Baelish or Petyr. So I use Littlefinger, but just like you guys all know, I'm just going to say Baelish just to make this simple, because I'm going to be mentioning his name a lot because this episode had so much content with this dude. It was absolutely insane. But I'm going to start with the Eyrie itself. The Eyrie, I freaking love how they did it, because the main theme of the Eyrie, which is where Liza Arryn lives, is it's known for being impregnable. This has been mentioned a lot of times. In the book, it's stressed a shit ton. How this place is literally impossible to break through. They got mountains, they got gates, they got like narrow-ass passageways. Like that passageway was the only way you can get in there. So basically, what Petyr Baelish was saying is that you have to, no matter how large an army you have to walk through that narrow-ass passageway. And how easy is it to kill somebody when they're walking, an army when they're walking, like literally like kind of single file, I guess 3 men, he said, can walk side by side through this narrow passageway. It's basically like you're fighting 3 people at once, continuous waves of just 3 people, which easy as fuck. So this place hasn't been taken over in ever, pretty much ever. And I like Petyr Baelish's his quote. He said, if you know how to use the strength itself isn't the greatest factor. If you know how to use the strength properly, 1 man can be worth 10,000, and that is freaking crazy. And I think we saw a great example of that on the Blackwater with the wildfire. Tyrion alone, this guy that's not strong at all, basically fucked up like a shit ton of people on the Blackwater by using the wildfire. So that was a good example of Baelish's quote. And then Sansa gets there. We have Liza, Arryn, Sansa, Robin, Arryn, and Petyr Baelish all together in that room. And of course, Sansa has her introduction to Liza. And I bet you guys were wondering in that scene. You guys were like, wait a second. We all know Liza Arryn's crazy, but she's not acting crazy. What's up with that? Well, let's just say we got a little taste of how crazy she really is later on in the episode. But this is the scene where Liza was talking to Petyr after Sansa and Robin left, and he was talking about how Petyr Baelish was the one. Yes, he was the one that killed Jon Arryn, the Hand of the King. And check this out. If you guys didn't notice, which you probably did, but if you didn't, Petyr Baelish basically started the Game of Thrones series. He killed Jon Arryn. He made Liza write a message to Ned Stark, basically making them on edge towards the Lannisters. This guy's death caused Robert Baratheon to come down to Winterfell to get Ned Stark and company to go to King's Landing. Ned Stark going to King's Landing led Ned to discover that Joffrey didn't have a rightful claim to the throne. Joffrey not having a rightful claim to the throne, and he was getting hints. He was getting fed hints by Littlefinger, and basically that's how the whole series was set into motion. It was all Baelish, which is absolutely crazy. And by the way, I did promise last week, and I did not get around to it, that I would make a whole video with Petyr Baelish's whole backstory. And this backstory is absolutely insane. We got a little taste of this episode, but they didn't quite describe it that accurately. We heard about Ned Stark's brother, Brandon. We found out a lot about just the history of the Tullys and the Starks and their interactions. How Brandon Stark almost killed Petyr. We found out a lot. Oh my God! But yeah, I'm telling you guys, I really, really want to. I'm gonna try to get around to it. Make a video this week, telling you guys about Petyr Baelish's backstory, because it's an absolutely amazing one. But yeah, and then Liza showed like a little hint, another hint of her craziness when she was like, when she already had the septon prepared, like right outside the door, like let's get married right now, and that sex though. She was screaming for days. Sansa couldn't sleep. Sansa could not sleep. That woman was screaming so damn loud. By the way, guys, just a little interjection. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, just a little introduction. Go ahead and like the stream so we can get more people in here watching. So yeah. Oh, I actually forgot. I just saw your Heister Mysterinator. I just saw your comment about the preview. I actually forgot to watch the preview. I just came right upstairs and started making my review. So I didn't see, but apparently Tyrion's trial's next episode. That is going to be probably the best episode of this season, maybe? Or no. This should be probably the second or third best episode of the season. It's going to be up there. Not the best, but it's going to be up there. So you guys better get ready for that. It's going to be amazing. And commented a great thank you. I do start these streams up as soon as possible because it's all fresh in my mind, so I can talk about it and you guys can enjoy it. So thank you. But everyone just like the stream so we can get more people watching. That'd be great. All right. Let's see. Then we go to the scene with I'm gonna get back to the Eyrie later, but I'm doing the scenes in order. So then we go to the scene with Tywin and Cersei. We're talking about the Iron Bank and how the kingdom's broke, and the Iron Bank is this just really powerful organization that you guys don't know too much about yet. But basically, this is all I'm gonna say on the scene because I could stress how powerful they are. I can stress how important they are. I can stress how they're like the freaking there's like a secret organization. It's like, oh my god, some crazy ass like conspiracy theory shit. But all I'm gonna say is this: the Iron Bank is pretty much, they have their own like slogan, they have their own motto, they have their own house words, even though they're just a bank. And you know what it is? It's the Iron Bank will have its due. Look that up. I'm not even kidding. That is their words, and that is, I think those are probably like epic ass words for a bank. The Iron Bank will have its due. That's freaking crazy. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that scene. Really, not too much to say about it. All right. So then we get to the scene with Arya and the Hound, and I don't know why Arya hates the Hound so much. Like, I kind of get it, but I think the Hound is warming up to Arya like a lot. But Arya's not warming up to him. Like, what the Arya? Just calm down. Like, I know it's not like she should be calmed down. She's gone through a lot of bullshit, so she should be, you know, however she is. But come on now, like, let's be real. Arya, just please warm up to this man. She said his name in the list of people she wants to kill. Like, come on, Arya, don't be like this. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that scene. And then we get the scene with Sansa and Liza Arryn. And this scene was scary. It was absolutely scary. Oh my god. When Liza held on to Sansa's hand and she's like, what did Petyr do to you? You dirty slut. You fucking, like, she just went ham on Sansa. Like, Sansa was scared out of her mind. I was here like, I don't even like Sansa as a character. I'm not too fond of Sansa. But holy shit. Oh my god, it was absolutely crazy. It was absolutely crazy, that scene. Wow, Liza, just calm down. Like, this is where her full crazy bitch just came out. But the only thing we got out of that scene, other than the insanely crazy ass moment, is the fact that Liza wants Sansa to marry Robin, so she'll basically be the queen of the Vale. Which I don't even think Sansa would want to be queen of the Vale, because the Vale's, I mean, it seemed like a cool place. Don't get me wrong, and it's definitely safe, and they definitely got food and shelter, water. Like, it's a very like extravagant place. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, man. It just gives me this feeling like living with Liza Arryn and the kid, her kid. No, that would not be cool. But let's see. Oh, okay. Now it's the scene with Brienne and Podrick, and I'm not gonna lie, this scene made me sad. Like, is it just me, or does it feel like Brienne is being like really too harsh on Podrick? Like, this dude's literally just trying to help her and be the best squire he can be, and it's not really his fault that he didn't get the best training. Like, he just didn't get the best training. It's not his fault, man. It's just not his fault. I don't understand. So, but Brienne's just being a bitch. I've always liked Brienne. She's always been a great character, but damn, Brienne. Just let the guy help you. Don't give him that look. She gives you that bitch look. Like those girls that just hate the shit out of you, and they're just like, why are you here, you motherfucker? She just looks at him like, get the fuck out of here. Like, get away from me. Like, I don't like that. Brienne, why? But, Okay, now we get to this scene with the second Arya and the Hound scene, and let me just say that this is probably my second or third best comedy scene in Game of Thrones, behind the Theon speech and the Salador San when he's like, "I don't want to rape her, I want to fuck her," about Cersei. But this scene had to be the third funniest scene in Game of Thrones. Period. Period. Okay, this is the scene where we get Arya practicing water dancing, and the Hound comes up to her, um, and he's just like, "What are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing?" Like, he comes up, and she's like, "I'm water dancing. This is not fighting. It's water dancing." And he's like, "You're dancing. Might as well wear a dress." And Arya gets pissed, so she looks at him, and she's like, "You shut up. I learned this from the best swordsman in the world." And 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 he's like, I think the Hound's like, "If he's the best swordsman in the world, where is he now?" And she's like, "He was killed." And by the way, side note, I guess I don't think Arya knows for sure that he was killed. And I don't know if the guy's still alive either. But I think Arya, if you guys were seeing that as confirmation that he's dead, it's not really confirmation, because the moment Arya stopped seeing Syria, okay, no one saw Syria die. We didn't see it, neither did Arya. The moment Arya left the room, our point of view was cut. So we don't. She knows as much as we know. For all we know, he could be alive. For all she knows, he could be alive. But she seems to think he's dead. So whatever. But yeah, she's like, "He was killed," and then the Hound's like, "How was he killed?" And she's like, "He was killed by Meryn Trant." And the Hound's like, "The best swordsman in the world was killed by Meryn fucking Trant." And I was just like, "Oh my god." That line, "the best swordsman in the world was killed by Meryn fucking Trant." And he's like, I think he said like the best swordsman in the world could probably kill like 3 or 4 Meryn Trants. Like, that was just hilarious. Like, especially, I just found it hilarious how the Hound knows this guy. He knows Meryn Trant. So for the Hound, this is hilarious. And the look on the Hound's face when he was saying this, and when Arya said that the best one from the world was killed by Meryn Trant, was priceless. This was just amazing acting. Amazing acting, just an amazing scene, and I just gotta give props to the directors. This shit was absolutely hilarious. Like, holy shit. But next scene was the scene with Oberyn and Cersei, and I don't. The only other thing I don't like in the episode is they're trying to build sympathy for Cersei. And first of all, I don't think Cersei deserves sympathy, personally. And I don't remember this scene happening in the books. I don't remember. It might have happened. I don't remember it happening, though. But I don't think we're supposed to be feeling sympathy for Cersei at this point. But apparently that's what they want us to feel. And it worked. I kind of felt for Cersei. Shoot me, whatever. I don't care. But I kind of felt for Cersei in the scene with Oberyn, where she just tell my daughter I love her, give her this gift for me. That was touching. That was touching. Cersei's a bitch. I hate Cersei, but that was touching, and I kind of felt some sympathy. But the one important thing about the scene that I don't think a lot of people noticed or caught up, actually, were engaged for, was when Oberyn mentioned his daughters, or Cersei mentioned Oberyn's daughters. Because just I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not spoiling. I'm not doing shit. Okay, don't. But I'm just saying, remember the daughters. Remember they exist. Just remember the daughters. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. But the daughters he had with his paramour. So, and Cersei's quote, of course, "What good is power if we cannot protect the ones we love?" I completely agree with that quote. Good quote from Cersei. There you go. I usually would be a little reluctant to give Cersei props on something, but she deserves it. That was a good scene for Cersei. So Cersei gets some points there. Now, I believe now we are at the final scene of the episode with the whole all the stuff that happened with Bran, the Night's Watch, and the Mutineers. Now, let me start by saying this. This was a change from the books. The whole Mutineers thing, the whole Jon and Bran, they almost meet up, all that was a change from the books. And a lot of people are going to bitch. A lot of people are going to say it was bad. A lot of people are going to say they hate change it from the books, but all I have to say is this was some of the best, or probably the best Game of Thrones filler that has ever happened, period. This was pretty damn amazing. That's all I'm going to say. It was pretty damn amazing. I really, really enjoyed the whole entire scene, and I think that in the books, this, you're not going to hear me say this much, but in the books, this was done in a much more inferior way. And this is a great way of making Bran's storyline interesting because, like you'll hear me say every time, Bran's storyline is one of my least favorite storylines just because it's boring. It's not that interesting at this point. At this point where we're at in the series, it's not very interesting. This is probably the driest part of Bran's storyline. But what they did was they put this whole end of this episode in, and that really, really made Bran's storyline enjoyable for at least this episode. So I give props to the directors for this. But did anyone else catch in this scene? I know it's a really weird thing to pick up on and a really stupid and insignificant thing, but did you notice that when that one dude, one of the mutineers, was first, when Locke was spying, and one of the mutineers was escorting one of Craster's wives somewhere, he was just taking her out in the snow or whatever he was doing, and he pushed her down. He literally went like this. He pushed her down, and he's like, get up, and he picked her up. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is the point of that? Why would you push someone down? Okay, first of all, he's trying to walk her somewhere, so I mean, it's in his best interest that she gets there as fast as possible. So why are you gonna push her down and then pick her up, and then tell her to get up and then picks her up? Like, you're just making more work for yourself, dude. It's a really weird thing to pick up on. I'm sorry, it's stupid, but I just had to bring that up. But all right. Then I'm just gonna do this one off the top. Basically, what happened, long story short, is Bran, Jojen, Mira, and Hodor are stuck in this hut, and Locke has this plan where he's supposed to scout. So he scouts it out. He tells Jon that the hut that they're in is filled with dogs, so no one goes near it. No one even pays it any mind. So what this guy does is he goes in there. He when the Night's Watch was attacking, he takes Bran, tries to go, but Bran does that. He wargs into Hodor, snaps Locke's neck. I was like, damn, goodbye, Locke. I kind of like Locke. I'm not gonna lie. He was a I wouldn't. Okay, yeah, he was a pretty badass dude. He was a pretty badass dude. But the way he went down to Hodor, I can't say I disagree. Hodor getting some battle scenes. But the other part of the scene that I thought was really, really amazing was the duel. First of all, the whole fight with the Night's Watch versus the Mutineers was amazing, but the duel between Jon and I forgot the dude's name. I'm sorry, I forgot the dude's name completely. But the duel between him and Jon, absolutely insane. This guy had dual daggers. This guy was just like just and Jon was like Jon got absolutely demolished. I'm sorry, Jon came out alive. The other dude died, but let's be real. Jon was about to get his ass whooped if he didn't get help. Jon was about to be dead. Jon Snow was about to be KO'd if he did not get help. So, hey, all I have to say is that guy was a badass fighter. But yeah, Jon eventually wins with some help. With some help, Jon. Ned Stark would not be amused. Your father would not be amused. He would be very disappointed if he saw you win with the help of some bitch when you're supposed to lose a duel, man. Well, but to be fair, the guy kind of spit in his eye and shit. Like, the guy was using some backhanded tactics, but it was still pretty interesting. It was a really good fighting scene, in my opinion. But yeah, it was pretty much. It didn't make this whole thing in general didn't make any deviations in the Game of Thrones storyline like a lot of people thought it would. People thought Jon would meet up with Bran, and the whole time I knew it wouldn't happen because that would create just a huge the whole thing that's going on now is Bran is supposed to know where Jon is, but Jon is not supposed to know that Bran is there. So that's what happened. It happened exactly like that, and you know I can't disagree. But I think it was really, really good filler. It was really a really good scene. All right, though. I think that's it for the episode. And let me just go ahead and read some comments. I'll answer any of your questions if anyone has any. Damn, I just realized how short this is. These usually go like over an hour or so, but This one was pretty quick. Tell me if I missed out on any scenes, but I don't think I do not think I missed out on anything, honestly. All right, I'm just gonna read the comments real quick. Sansa stuff is the most interesting, and that's with the fanboy mode off. Sansa stuff most interesting. I would say the most interesting stuff is Tyrion, the Tyrion stuff. Tyrion's trial. I think that's by far most interesting, but I'm not even kidding. I don't like Sansa. Everyone knows this, but the Sansa stuff, everything that's going on in the Eyrie is really, really fucking interesting right now. I'm not gonna lie. It was a really, really good episode. But yeah. Whoa, SMX Wing said, "Well, great episode, man. It was fucking amazing. Holy shit." Great sign coming from a book reader. Yes, book readers will be happy with this episode because the one fear of most book readers was that the whole Jon and Bran thing would end like with them meeting up, and that would be just stupid. But it didn't happen, so whatever. Resboy said, "Pretty solid, but Jon losing to that fuck." Oh, come on, dude. Jon lost to the guy, but the guy was a good fighter. He was an assassin, and his duel, you can't lie, that was a cool ass fight. And the guy was using 2 daggers. That was pretty fucking badass. I was concerned for a bit, but everything turned out okay. But a few scenes had me scratching my head. Yeah, I agree with you. A few scenes, like especially for me, it was the Cersei scene. Both of the Cersei scenes where she was talking to Margaery, I was like, wait, is this Cersei? What the fuck? And then the other scene with Cersei and Oberyn, she was just out of character. She was just out of character there in both those scenes, so whatever. Holy shit, in the next episode, we're getting Theon's sister. It's kind of spoiler, but yeah, well, they can read the comment if they want to see. But yeah, that's gonna be insanely good. It's gonna be insanely good. All the Dreadfort stuff. I was spoiled yesterday by some prick on blank. I'm not going to say it because it's a spoiler, but that sucks, man. That's why I read the books. That's like a big reason why I read the books, because spoilers for Game of Thrones fly around like crazy. Like crazy. I don't know if the show will do it. I've done a lot of investigating and haven't seen any signs that it's happening. I'm hoping it would be the cliffhanger to the end of the season. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it. They kind of have to do it. It's going to be an important part of the series, I believe. So everything that's important, the main thing I've noticed is that a lot of things that seem like they're not going to happen eventually happen, even if it's kind of faked or you think it's not going to happen. Because what they like to do, and the directors like to do, is they like to switch around scenes and like just, I don't know, they just like to not give evidence for a lot of shit or sneak it in some weird way. But yeah, it's probably going to happen. It's important enough. That's not even the scariest Liza and Sansa scene. Oh yeah, guys, if you guys don't read the books and you don't know what's going to happen, the Liza and Sansa scenes are going to be some top-notch scenes. It's only going to get better from here on out, folks. So I would say that the low part of Sansa's storyline, the lowest part was back right after. Actually, it's been pretty bad for the whole series. I would say Sansa's storyline has been like plateaued since the start of the series, but now since she enters the Eyrie, Sansa's storyline is going to get a lot better. It's going to just get actually, like, we're going to see some actual like great things happen. It's like really significant shit. Oberyn's daughters, his slither. Dude, yo, that's like subliminal spoilers, but you guys are going to see. You guys are going to see. Resboy with those subliminals. I think that's it though. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and ask them real quick. I will answer your questions, or just leave a comment if the live stream's already ended and you're watching this. But I'm gonna try to get around to all the questions. I'm gonna try to get around to everything. So we'll see. We will see. All right. 2 questions or 2. Okay, I didn't read these. Wait, what? I don't know why. I just couldn't. I saw them for a second, but I couldn't read them. All right, something weird's going on with the comments, but I saw I missed the Jon and Jon's reunion with his wolf. Why did I just? Oh yeah, with Ghost. I'm sorry. I can't believe, like, for a split second I forgot Ghost's name. But yeah, Jon's reunion with Ghost. We saw that. That That's good. That was good. John's back with his dire wolf. All's good. And Bran has his. That's good too. And another thing I missed. What did I miss? I think that's it actually. Oh, okay. You said in a fair fight, Jon would have took the fight easily, but Carl spit in his eye. Okay, okay. I will kind of agree with you partially on that. I think it was if it was a fair fight, it would have been closer, but I don't think Jon would have won. I don't think Jon would have won. I'm just being real with you guys. That guy was pretty skilled, even though he used dirty tactics. But honestly, let's be real here. Let's be real here. As we learned with Bronn and his fight against and his fight with his bronze fight in the Eyrie, when Liza said to Bronn, "You don't fight with honor," Bronn said he did, and he pointed to the guy that he just killed. I mean, fighting with honor is just, let's just say, fighting with honor can easily get you killed. Can easily get you killed. You got to be on guard for everything, including someone spitting in your eye. Let's say this. If spitting in someone's eye will win me a fight and I won't die, I will gladly spit in anyone's eye. All right, I think that's it, guys. If there are no more questions, then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. It was in the preview. Oh, okay, it was in the preview, not a spoiler. Okay, my bad. I didn't watch the preview. I should have, but I just came right up here and started making this. So Bran and Jon have their wolves. Do you think Sansa will get reunited with her wolf? You mean the one that's dead? Isn't Lady dead? Hasn't Lady been dead for a long ass time? Sansa, if you really want Sansa to get reunited with her wolf, Sansa would have to die. Alright, I think that's it, guys. So, again, if you do have any questions and I haven't addressed, if there's anything I haven't addressed, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I will answer your comment as soon as I possibly can. Again, go ahead and like the video. Really short video this week. I wish I had more questions so I could, just get around to everything and, make this like an hour long, but, we really ran out of stuff to talk about. Well, we didn't really run out, but not too many questions. I'm gonna leave this going for like a minute, about a minute more. See if we can get anything else in here. But if not, hey. If not, it is what it is. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. No questions. I'm leaving it open for about 40 seconds more. But honestly, like before I end this, I just want to say that scene with Arya and the Hound was top tier comedy. That was just comedic gold. Like holy shit, that was just so funny. I've never in Game of Thrones I haven't laughed that hard this season at all. This season hasn't had that many moments that just made me just fall on the floor laughing. But that quote from the Hound, "The best swordsman in the world is killed by Meryn fucking Trant," was absolutely amazing. Ladies gone forever. Please invest in some coated glasses. Totally distracting. Oh, you mean the light reflecting off it? I could do my reviews without glasses. I can't see for shit, but I might start doing that if it helps. But yeah, sorry about the glare off the glasses. I know it's very, very visible. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. Oh, another comment. Tell me you agree that the Night King was a spoiler. Well, the Night King, yes. Okay, the Night King was basically the guy. If you guys don't notice, it was the guy at the end of the last episode, the White Walker that kind of turned the baby into one. It was a spoiler, but what I'll say about that is it doesn't really piss me off in any way because of the fact that George gave them permission to put that in the show. So it's his choice. It's not like the HBO just randomly decided we're going to put in the Night King. They were given permission to. Okay, it was George's decision to put that in there. I don't think it was bad. I don't think that it was bad. I mean, what do we know? We just know that he exists, that he's there. I mean, it's not that big of a spoiler. I think if anything, it makes it more interesting. That's just my opinion. If anything, it makes the series overall more interesting, and it makes me look forward to the next book a lot more. So that's just me, though. Is your favorite TV show character different from in the books? I would say yes. The reason I would say yes is because in the show, of course, not as much dialogue. So in the show and in the books, totally different favorite characters. And of course the music, the everything, the voices just make everything different in the show. I would say in the show, my favorite characters would have to be the Hound, Braun. The Hound, I think it's kind of obvious why. This episode just solidified it for me. The Hound in this episode, honestly, I would say this, that the Hound's actor is probably one of, I would go as far as to say that he is probably in the top 2 best actors in Game of Thrones, the TV series. One of the top 2 best actors. I'm not talking about best characters, like over like it from a quality standpoint or whatever, but actors, I would put him top notch, and that's why he's my personal favorite TV show character. But oh my god, in the TV show, it's just so much different. In the books, I would say it's probably the more dialogue-heavy characters: Olenna, Tywin, Kevin Lannister, Tormund Giantsbane. The thing with Tormund Giantsbane, which is one of why he's my favorite book character, is because in the book he had a lot of dialogue, and literally in the show he has like none, and nobody knows anything about this dude. Literally no, I don't think anyone even knows his name that watches the TV series. This is how bad of a job they did at adapting him, and they just completely, pretty much took his character out of the show. Tormund Giantsbane was probably one of my top 3 book characters. Tormund Giantsbane, Olenna, and I have to leave the last one open. Maybe Theon. Theon's one of my favorites. Jaime's one of my favorites. But yeah, it really does vary from the TV show to the book. I would have to probably make a separate video telling you guys my different characters, TV show and book, how they're different. But I have a few Game of Thrones videos planned for the near future. One on Baelish's backstory, one on just different characters' backstory, different character spotlights, just telling you about the character. Some things that you might not know from watching the show, but they really did a good job at explaining the books, because I want to get you guys really up to speed on a lot of things that they didn't really, a lot of the exposition they didn't have time to go over. Let me see if there are any more. Okay, the comments are kind of rolling in. SMX Wing said, but the Night's King wasn't mentioned in the show. It was mentioned in the article. I mean, if he was put in the I don't know. Here's what I think about it. He was put in the, I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was intentionally made known. I don't think it was like an error or a mistake that the Night's King was revealed as the Night's King. I think it was all calculated. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't like someone fucked up, someone messed up, and all of a sudden we know there's the Night's King. I think it was intentional, and it was meant to get us hyped, or get some people to start reading the books, or like stuff like that. That's what I think happened. I'm not 100% sure, of course, but that's what I think happened. All right, we're gonna wait about 30 more seconds, see if we get any more questions coming in. If not, we'll end it off, and I'll just type any responses you guys have, any questions you guys have. I'll type the response out. But yeah, also what I want to say is, if you have any additional questions you want, or any additional videos that you want me to make about Game of Thrones, or anything really, just put it in the comments. I'll try to get around to it. I already have like a list of a few videos lined up that I'm going to make within the next week, hopefully. I'm going to make at least 1 or 2 in this week. It's my goal. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's it. That's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Peace.